Ding, ding. Mother effers. Back once again.
We are back. It is Friday. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. The week's over. My daughter
Lori
made it.
Nine-Toe Joe.
My
What do you
daughter made it
know?
through her first day of school today.
Oh my God.
School's back. She made it through.
I saw the pictures. She's beautiful.
Of course. Or duh.
She is
I mean,
beautiful. And you want to know what? People were joking saying that you lock her in the room.
mm-hmm.
Pretty soon, we're going to have to lock her in the room. Because once
um,
those sweaty, stinky guys start calling and everything, oh my God. I'm not going to want to deal with that.
well,
I'm just not going to
she
want to
does
deal
have.
with it.
I mean, there are boys that call. The difference is that she's a good kid, and anything that she does, she tells me about. She's not one of those kids that has to hide things from me. So if she wants
Right,
to talk to a boy on the phone or go meet the boy at Starbucks, I'm gonna know about it. I know who the boy is, so whatever. It's
right.
not
And,
let's say hi to our friends.
and whenever
Uh
she wants
yeah.
something and you say no, she
Hmm.
calls me. We have established that relationship now.
Why are you wearing sunglasses in the house? Oh, because you're allowed back in. Joe, and the good news is
Back in the
Joe got
game,
on his hands
man.
and knees. He begged, and she was let back in the house.
The DJ, what's up? I'm going to show you guys one of these days. I'm going to show people on Instagram. Back in my record producing days, I'm going to show you my Tascam 4-track, my Wonderboard. Oh, you're going to like it.
And let's say hi to
Have
people in the chat. We have
The
David.
little DAT tape goes in it. Nice. 4-track. Nice.
We got David S.
Makes some good
Cameron,
beats.
Mike F. Can I say hi to people? Mob
Go
Land,
right ahead.
Minnie the Moocher, Lou Z Y. Hello here from Camping Community. Ross sent me. Thank you, Ross, for sending Lou Z Y. And we'll have to do a camping show one time. Once Joe feels better,
Yeah.
we'll definitely do a camping
Mm-hmm.
show. That sounds like a plan.
It
Paul
really does.
Clinton, my Reds too, our friend, one of our good friends here, Paul Clinton. We said hi to Beantown, my Reds too, Mandy Bandy, Teresa,
Yeah.
Juju Brown is in town, Bill Jordan, Tammy C, Mandy Bandy again, David Hunt. None of your business. Teresa Murphy, we love you. BK Shallon, our brother Vito.
We love our
Jessica, how are
brother,
you? Jane Perry. The
Jean
DJ,
Perry.
Sean.
Yeah.
Uh, Nicole TV official. Good morning, my friend. Good. It must be the morning where you are. You must be in the future. It is about 6 o'clock Eastern here on a Friday. Einstein disguised as Robin Hood. David Hunt.
Ooh, David Hunt. How are you, Mr. Hunt?
Uh,
What about
Watching
Egg?
from the Philippines. Oh, we got someone watching from the Philippines, and then we have this
That's funny that
Sunny.
you
How
said
are you?
someone from the Philippines. I went to this place. It's called Jolly Bee. Jollibee. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a restaurant. It's there's probably like I think they were all over the world basically. It's a franchise. They sell like chicken, but it's like Filipino style food.
Do you like
Like
it?
it was actually pretty good actually. Some of the stuff I was a little, you know, like but like the chicken is really good, like the hamburger was good, I mean there was a couple of things that I really like They had mashed
Aegon's
potatoes
in
with
here.
gravy, but it was like
Oh,
the
Aegon.
gravy was just a little. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was really good though. I would recommend it. Jolly Bee. Yeah, it's Filipino.
I had to
Yeah.
shut the air
Shout
off.
out to the
It's chilly.
Philippines.
Aegon. Aegon's in here. What's up, Aegon? So we had a show planned. We were gonna do 60 days in, and we had a guest coming
Yeah.
on, but something happened last minute where they got tied up and they had to cancel. So now we're not going to cancel our show because we had you guys waiting, and we'll just wing it and go with some topics. Take the glasses off. Thank you.
They're off.
Yankees for life. What's up? Yankees for life.
Oh, Yankees for life. What's up, my brother? How are you? Yep. I'm good, thank you. David Cameron.
Benadu
David
and
C.
Vito. What's up? Why don't you come on and talk some sports?
Because he
And you
probably
want to
doesn't
come on and
like
talk
one
some
of
sports?
us. He probably doesn't like it.
No, he always wants. No, he always asks to come on and talk sports with you, Joe. Hey, William, we
Who?
haven't seen you for a minute, William. I feel like I
Listen.
haven't seen, unless I missed you because the chats have been busy. And
What?
Indy's
Okay,
always
look. So
been
anyway,
wanting.
so someone I look up to is a gentleman named Theodore Atlas. You guys know him as Teddy Atlas. You know, like
David
Hall
S.
of Fame
Hold on,
boxing
David S.
trainer,
Cameron. Thank you. Was that a book you
Hall of
have?
Fame boxing trainer. So one day I seen him and I said, "Hey, Mr. Atlas," I said, "Will you sign my book?" He says,
Mm-hmm.
"Sure." So he writes in there,
Hey,
and
Teresa. Oh, Blaine.
he writes me a nice little thing, and he says that you have proven your knowledge of the boxing game, and you really are a true boxing fan, and you know your boxing. Okay, now that's from Teddy Atlas. You want to come on and you want to talk about boxing, we can do that. You want to talk about cards? Okay? Because what happened in the last week was something that is amazing. The most amazing thing happened.
Tell everybody.
Okay? So,
Tell everybody.
Some guy in 1991 he bought a Mickey Mantle rookie. Okay? 1952 Mickey Mantle rookie. He paid $55,000 for it. Okay? So what he did was he got it graded. He didn't go to PSA. He went to SGC, which is like one of the secondary, they're just coming up basically, SGC. I have a bunch of graded cards from them. Well, anyway, the Mickey Mantle sold last week for $12 million. Now think about that. The dude bought it in 1991 for 55 G's. He sold it for 12 mil.
Wow.
To me, that is the most money ever paid for sports memorabilia of anything. Card, gloves, autographs, whatever. That right there. Now, in the world right now, there is 3 Mickey Mantle PSA 10s. There's 3 of them that exist that we know of. If one of them sold them right now, they could get between 30 and 40 million for those cards. Could you imagine that? Could you?
Do we have one? Hey, Amber, how are you?
We don't have one. We don't have one. Hi, Amber.
I might.
Well, so
I
my
might
whole
have
point is, I was listening to this little podcast I listened to about card collecting, And what the guys were saying was like, they don't know what a sale like that does for collectibles. And here's what I thought. What it does for collectibles is it lets
Oh, my
people
Cole.
know, like, okay, maybe if I get, if I have extra money, which I'm not saying that you guys do have money or you don't, but if anybody has money and you're looking to invest money, it's a proven way to get, a good return on investment. Um, yeah, getting cards graded. If you want to sell cards, it's probably the way to go. Is getting them graded. The problem I have with the grading is right now is like I'm a little skeptical on it because it just some right now getting cards graded through PSA is very difficult. There's a backlog. If you go to these
Everybody,
secondary sites, SGC, RCF, there's so many different ones coming out of the woodwork. The problem is though, the SGC 9.5 that sold for 12 mil, if that
yeah.
went to like PSA, which is the top in grading, it probably wouldn't
Hmm.
have been a 9.5. It might have been a 9 or an 8.5. So there's a little
I
bit of
hear you.
controversy. Well, my thing is, I want to wait and let's see what happens with card grading companies. Let these guys slug it out, and then we'll see which way we want to go.
Everybody hit that
But
like
me
button.
personally,
And
I've been investing a little bit of money in graded cards myself. I've been buying graded cards as an investment. You know,
nice.
um, yeah, and then I
That's
have
my
a
friend,
friend,
Cool Joe.
Cole.
Cole is it? Remember I told you about my friend Cole? He's in chat. So make sure everybody in chat welcomes Cole. He's one of my friends from another community. He's been a good friend of mine for a while. So everybody in chat, please be welcoming to him. He's a nice boy.
The
And that's
best
it.
companies to get it graded, Chicago, Chris, is PSA and Beckett, and then SGC is probably like the third. But SGC, like the guy got his Mickey Mantle graded from SGC. So I would say any one of those three, PSA, Beckett, or SGC. So it's amazing to me that the sport has went. I mean, you're talking about like millions of dollars, and what that's going to do is it's going to get a lot of people, not me. It's going to get serious people with money, involved in this because I mean, it's. How did he do today, Teresa? He's because Ryan, I guess, Brian Murphy, our resident major leaguer, okay,
Mm-hmm.
is having some back issues now.
I thought it was something with the arm or something, no? The back too?
Back issues. So
Hey Kelly G,
what?
how are you? Amber, you have the link if you want to come up. Maybe we could play a game or something if you bring some cards. Go ahead, Joe.
I'll bring cards. I have cards in here.
You got your baseball cards.
We
Oh,
have
you gonna open
boxes of
them?
cards. No,
I have a
I
cool
don't.
thing of cards. Should I open the cool thing of cards that I got today?
You
No.
could open them if you want, but I don't think. I think you should give them to me and let me open them.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
got
do
something
that.
really cool.
But the thing is,
I got this that I should open. 2009 Upper Deck. 2009, 2010 Upper Deck basketball. It's a blaster box. 10 packs, 8 cards. Now, 2009, 2010, if it serves me right, what whose rookie card is in that year? Well, how about Steph Curry? Steph Curry, yes. Steph Curry, some people believe is like one of the top 5 greatest of all time. And I'm gonna agree with that. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. Somebody said they had a 1989 card. You know what you could do with that 1989 card? An 1989 Upper Deck basketball card box I never opened. Okay, well, the card that's the gem of that one is a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. So my advice to you is
Actually,
hold on.
our guest might be ready now to come on. So maybe we'll
Really?
yep.
Oh, this would be great. Steph Curry card, yeah. Steph Curry. He's something else, Steph Curry.
And Amber, you could come up too.
He's something else, Steph Curry, but let me tell you something. I don't know what's this shit with Subway. Who eats Subway? She eats Subway. I can't eat Subway.
I don't like eating Subway really. I do. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, hockey
Invite.
cards are on a lower scale because I don't know much about hockey. Like I know about hockey, but I don't know like because I can't pronounce half the people's name. That's the problem. Hey, Brooksy. Yeah, Cuse. I know. I here's what I think Cuse needs to do. They need to just
550.
open up a bank account and start paying players. Do I have a Judge rookie card? As a matter of fact, I've been buying up Judge rookie cards. Yeah, I do. Yep, I've been buying them up. They're
Amber,
actually
come
like the
come in.
hottest card right now for baseball right now is the Judge rookie cards.
Here,
Yeah.
Amber, you can come up too because she's on her way. The guest.
2017 is if you're interested in Judge rookies, go on eBay and type in 2017 Aaron Judge rookie cards, and you'll get a listing of what they're going for. I mean,
Hey, Roscoe, how are you?
you think he could
So it
beat
looks like we're
Roger
going back.
Maris with 62 home runs? I mean, I think if he could break 61 home runs and get 62, that would be great. That would be great.
Jumping
Oh,
on
Amber,
computer. All right, so we have our guests coming. That's cool. And then we can go back
Mr.
to 60
Batters.
days in and we'll
No,
talk
I don't. I know the most
about it.
about Bill, Mr.
Joe,
Batters.
you
What?
talk over me. You get into this thing where you just talk over me.
Okay. And
So what are you talking
people
about?
are
A
asking me
baseball card right now?
questions. They're asking me
Okay.
questions. What do you want me to do? Ignore them? Look,
No.
Joe,
But I'm
Judge,
telling you
great
something.
cause investment. Oh, Joe, you love pills. Oh, Joe, you got 9 toes. Oh, they were asking questions. I got to answer these
Did
questions.
somebody
They
say
want to
that in
know.
chat? So why did you just say that? You say stupid thing. Oh, Joe.
What?
I didn't see anybody in chat saying, "Hey, Mr. Batters, how are you?"
Mr.
See?
Batters.
Now because you just said it.
Then I said what? I'm not
You just
even going
bring
to
it up and
acknowledge
then
him.
somebody
I'm not even going to acknowledge him,
just
Mr. Batters.
there's no reason to.
Claudio, how are you? Roscoe, what's up, my man?
Batters.
Roscoe. Lulzy. What's up? Anybody seen Baffa out there?
No, why do you say that name too? Don't say that name. Don't say idiots' names like Carlos or Bafa, because then all you're doing is promoting them. You're gonna say an idiot's name, I'm gonna say an idiot's name too. Hey Amber, how are you? What's up,
Hey.
pretty? How was your day?
Fine. Can y'all hear me
We're gonna
okay?
be
Is there reverb?
Hey, Amber. How are you, sweetie?
I'm good.
Did you
How
get
was
your
your day?
dressed?
Hold on, I'm trying to get my earphones in. Okay, there we go. I'm just now waking up. Ugh.
I knew you were taking a nap. That's what I told Joe.
Yeah.
I said usually she's napping, so
Yeah.
about this time.
I did.
You're up
I
in that
fell
higher elevation too, so.
Yes.
Well,
It's like 4,600. Yeah,
Oh my
4,600.
God.
but she gets the kids up early for school. She sends them
Yeah.
off to school. She does her live, and then before they come
Housework.
in, housework, and then before they come in, she takes a short nap. That's
Mhm.
what she does.
Yeah.
That's
Have
her
to go get
schedule.
them. Drop them off. do anything else. Yeah. So
Everybody, please hit the thumbs up. Go ahead, babe.
No, I actually fell asleep I started watching Inmate's Roommate right after I finished 60 Days In. But I finished 60 Days In. Whew.
You like it? You like it or
not?
No, I'm not sure yet.
I'm giving it one more episode. I said I was going to give it 2 more episodes, and so I'm 1.5 episodes behind. So I'll give it one more episode after I catch up on these 2 episodes. So
all right, here's our guest. Yeah, me too, though. Yeah, I feel the same way. Here's our guest. We have Stephanie is from season 4 of Love. Love After. Oh my God!
Wrong show.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You look so cute.
I'm good. She does look so cute.
Yes, you do.
Wow.
Can I let me pull up a short clip to remind let me give everybody 2 seconds. I'm just gonna share the screen, and I'm gonna put up a short clip to remind people Stephanie was during the show. Just a quick reminder. Stephanie goes full inmate. That worked. Stephanie goes full inmate. Let's see. There's going to be a quick commercial. I thought I'd play past it. Oh, no, we're in jail. Okay.
We're in jail.
There she is, right there.
Looking good, honey. Looking good over there with the braids on.
Thank you. I feel great. I don't even know if anybody noticed, but I'm like looking around like, where am I? Oh, I'm in jail.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the infamous birthday.
Oh, yeah, that night.
She's been all that night.
Yeah.
Last night, the party was epic. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. I've never seen anyone strip or take off their clothes or start dancing and grinding on people. I've never seen that in my life.
She went full inmate.
I fit in with everyone. At some point, it's hard to draw the line between being a participant and an inmate.
No, because it's hard because you gotta do your part.
I did I'm actually. It was hard. I did too. Somebody else, and I'm Stephanie Barnes. I forget that all the time because I've taken the character that I am Stephanie Barnes. That's who I am. That's so funny. I forget a lot. That's when it hits me that I am not actually who I say I am.
You got along good with people in there, though.
I really did.
You can't be a goody two-shoe.
No, you can. But I really did get along with everybody.
Now, okay, look, tell the truth, okay? Because I want to know.
Tell the truth.
Yeah. Okay. So during that interview, where you're interviewing, Ashley, right, about the party.
Yeah.
Did you have on any makeup?
No, I actually didn't.
Okay, I'm done.
I didn't have on any makeup in jail. Like sometimes they like the girl, she would do my eyelashes, like not my eyelashes, but my eyebrows, and they're like use the thread they get from the clothes and thread your eyebrows. But that was the only thing I had.
Elle, scroll back to how smooth and look at her skin.
Yeah.
That was gorgeous.
I already put.
Oh, okay.
I already turned that off. Hold on. I already took the thing down, but hold on.
Her skin is like flawless, like bright lights shining on it. I'm like, I would look like something hit me.
You look good in there.
And ran.
Thank you.
She did.
Yep, you definitely look good there and now.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. Her hair is
up to my table so I can get more light. I'm like, I'm burning up here.
That's crazy.
Circle every night.
Come pray.
I'm not a religious person. I used to be a Jehovah's Witness, and I actually got kicked out of their religion. And when they do that, they shun you. You're cut out from everybody, and that sucks because like I have no friends, like nobody. After the first circle, everybody like hugs each other, and I wasn't expecting people to hug me.
But you look good.
She does. Oh my God.
My other cellmates were hugging me, and the people I didn't even know were hugging me. So you're with a whole bunch of criminals, and they're accepting me, and it feels great. It feels wonderful.
Look at her skin was flawless. You had
Exactly. Imagine those bright lights shining on my face. Like they'd be like blotch, 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 blotch. Yeah.
So hot too. The lights are so hot.
So how you been?
I've been really good. Of course, I think everybody knows I've been like MIA because people's like, oh, she's so private, which I've always been a private person even before the show. So a lot of people don't know that. And I'm private after the show just because I got like a lot of hate and stuff and things of that nature. But I like to live my life accordingly because I don't think I'm better than anybody. I just kind of live a solo life. But I moved back out to California because I was in Kentucky because I have a house out there that I rent. Now I'm back here. I'm about to go to nursing school. I just finished up my 2 degrees in biomedical and neuroscience.
Oh, neuroscience. Wow. That's what my daughter wants to do.
Yeah. It's
okay.
It's a good field.
Yeah. Congratulations. But what you get hate for? Sorry.
That with that Jackie girl, she was a little bit of a baby.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Remember that whole thing with Jacqueline? That whole thing? But with the show, though, they don't show everything 24 hours a day.
No, they don't.
You know, they don't show everything 24 hours a day. But you went in, you had a boyfriend when you went in there.
Okay, so it seems like I had a boyfriend because I just made it so that we were just gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend in the beginning because I wasn't comfortable at that time saying like, oh, I'm a lesbian because I hadn't told my parents and my dad. Okay. Me and my dad don't talk because he's Jehovah's Witness. So like they shun me and stuff like that. But I'm like, we ain't about to do all that. We just gonna act like we boyfriend and girlfriend. And then when I was in the show, like once I was in there, I'm like, I like girls anyway, so it doesn't matter. But the only thing I'm not gonna do is have sex with anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So that made you get along too, really good with the inmates. But you were in there with that Angela too. That was your season, and she went full on relationship and full on fell in love that season and ruined it for the rest of you. And you were able to keep that separate, you know.
Yes, I definitely was. And I can't be like, oh, well, I didn't want her to have a relationship because I think people thought that like she's jealous. I'm like, I'm not jealous. Like if she wants to go by all means, because Angel, I got along with her in there and she was just fine. Like we didn't have any issues. I'm like, I just don't want to have sex with anybody.
Right. Oh man. How did you feel like when you found out that she had told?
I think so in that moment, because she told me, she came out, she's like, hey, I already told somebody that, the girl that she loves. She's like, I'm 50 days in. I'm like,
you're like,
literally everything just started dropping inside me. Because mind you, you're thinking constantly when you're in jail, like, how to not blow my cover? How to not do this? How to not do that? How to also fit in when people so-called said I was fitting in. Well, you have to. You're in jail. Like, if you don't fit in, people bring you out to be 60 days in. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
People want to do. But it was, I don't know. It was just, it was insane. Once she did that, I'm like, okay. They pulled her out. And then that's when the talk really got going in the pod. Like,
oh god,
you know where Angel is? And I'm like, no, I don't. But she told me she was gonna be back, and she said she was going to court. Like, I'm trying to like play it off. And when she came back, I was the only one left.
But she already confided in her girlfriend that she was in the program. So, but like a whole tough, like you can't trust anybody in there. And I understand why she did. She felt like she didn't want to go into a relationship lying. And you can't put other people in jeopardy. You can't put other people in danger. You know what I'm saying? That's what she did wrong. Hey, Rod Trap City, how are you?
People start pinging, and people really was like, "Oh, 60 days in," because then they try to put pieces together, and people don't think like, "Oh." People think they're 60 days in. People thought a lot of people were 60 days in before I had even got there.
Right. What so you got a lot of hate afterwards after after it ended? You were getting a lot of hate, internet hate.
I was getting internet hate. I was getting harassed. I was getting threats.
Wow.
They wanted to kill me. They wanted me to die. Like, just from the stuff from me and Jackie's situation, which again, like you said, nobody knows everything. Nobody sees everything. So people don't really know what really transpired in those times.
Right. Jackie was playing, in my opinion, Jackie was playing a little bit two-faced, like telling them one thing, telling them one thing. She was making it like she was being so bullied to you and you stuck up for her. And then when push comes to shove, she went to go throw you under the bus. So you just opened your mouth and said what the deal was.
That actually
You know?
was what happened. And so like people was like, oh no, girl, that happened. She had your back because you was crying when she left. And when you had what's her name on your other episode of Special, she was saying how people, how they edit and they put things in there. And I wasn't crying after Jackie left. She put that in there in that scene that I was crying in there to make it seem like I was crying after she left. But I was really crying in that one scene because they used the scene twice, if anybody even knows. But they used my crying scene because they had asked me like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "I'm tired." Like I started getting really tired of like lying, and I was tired. I was just tired, and it was weighing on me. And that's why I started crying. But it had nothing to do with the Jackie situation.
Right. Wow. So how did you feel? Because you said you were the last one left.
Yeah.
So you made it all the way to the end, right?
Until they pulled me out.
And they pulled everybody out because of the angel. Yeah. So
you would have made it to the end though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did.
If you would have made it to the end, how much longer did you have?
So I was in it for 45 days, and I had whatever days afterwards.
A week. Yeah. You would have made it to the end.
Yeah.
You would have made it. It seemed like cake to you, like you were having fun. And that whippet, whatever is that? Doesn't that taste good? Does it taste good?
It tastes really good.
She tried the whippet. Oh, that's what it was.
Yes.
Oh my God. Did it get you? No, I'm just kidding.
It tastes so good, but people were like, and everybody was calling me like a junkie after, and I was on drugs, and I'm like, I've never touched drugs in my life. You know how extensive of a process it is to even get on the show.
Yeah.
Right.
To be like, oh, you do drugs. Like, if you don't do anything, they're gonna still think you're 60 days in. If you do think something, then you're fine.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what is it made of? Is it like Starburst or something? That's what it looked like.
It looks like that. So it's made out of like water. And then coffee, and then on Whippet Wednesdays, we call it Whippet Wednesdays, but on Wednesdays when we get commissary, it was made of the Kool-Aid and then also the pills. So people stash pills and then put it in there, and you just whip it into that thick pink consistency.
But it was their prescription pills. Was it like necessarily narcotics, or was it like psychotropic type things that were prescribed to them that?
Yeah, it was just stuff that was prescribed to different people. So you would get like the ones that make you high, kind of, and the low pills, the downers and the uppers. That's what we call them.
And then when you just mix them together, it just kind of, they knew the way to just make them a little wasted.
Yeah, but it was never any like hardcore C2 controlled drugs. We can't have like that. We were just getting high on. It wasn't anything like that.
Right. It's like sitting around and drinking a beer with your friends type of thing. You know what I mean? Or smoking a doobie, that type of thing. It wasn't anything. It's not like you were shooting up dope or doing cocaine. You know, like that's totally different. That's totally different.
Yeah. So yeah, it looked like you did enjoy the birthday party though, because
I did.
I was like, that was a high birthday party, like in a cell. They're throwing down.
Yeah. And I don't think people didn't really know her, but her name was Paris. Like on the show, we always call her Paris. But she was a stripper that you see when she put her leg way up in the air and was holding it. There's a real stripper.
Oh yeah. I remember.
I was like, she told me she's gonna give me a lap dance. I was like, hey, I'm all for it.
So what about? Oh, go ahead, Elle.
No, I'm sure a lot of those inmates were ex-stripperish call girls and stuff like that. Joe, do you have any questions for Stephanie? Let's see some of the questions Amanda would have.
But it's okay. Here's my question: were there any good-looking women in there other than you? Like, were you attracted to any of the women? Because as I recall, like the big girl Swole or whatever. I got her stuck in my mind. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
you were the pharmacist.
They're pretty close. I worked in a CVS, doing a pharmacy tech, and I also worked at Humana. So those two jobs, like I work with a lot of doctors and pharmacists.
Yeah, and I just cut Joe off. So go ahead, answer Joe's question. I'm sorry, I get sidetracked.
Yeah, she does that all the time, but I'm used to it. So it's a woman show, and like I'm the man trying to break through or whatever. So they kicked me to the curb.
It's okay, but I think the only good-looking people in there was Kitty Boo. I don't know if y'all remember her, but she had like short hair. Her hair was kind of short. She was seen a couple of times, and it's funny because they didn't put it in the show. But me and her did kiss, but nobody ever knew that because they didn't put it in there.
Oh, that would have been good. That would have been great.
Like we kissed probably twice, and that was it. And then the other girl, I think, Paris. Those were the only really attractive people that I was attracted to.
Angela, but her name is Angela. Her girlfriend was cute. Her girlfriend was very pretty.
Gabriella?
Was that her name? I
Okay.
forget.
She's really
Yeah.
She
pretty
was
too.
beautiful. She was really pretty.
I just wasn't attracted to her, but I was attracted to like Angel when she first came in.
Oh
And
yeah.
me and Lyric, everybody knows Lyric. You can't forget Lyric.
Yes.
Everybody thinks we had a thing in jail because again they didn't show that on the show, but me and her would like lay together in our bed cells all the time. So I was like really, really close to Lyric. But we didn't have any sexual like contact or chemistry, but we would just always lay with each other and like always was just really close, and we had a lot in common.
Mm-hmm. Wow. See, I thought as soon as Angel came in, I said, yeah, I could see that, because she was gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Yeah. But, you were so meek and timid. I was like, oh, like you were just so quiet. And I was like, oh, she seems so sweet. Like, oh, I hope she makes it. And then you were like the last one. I was like, what?
Yeah. I was the kind of person, like, I'm just going to go in there and I'm not really going to say a lot. I'm just going to kind of hear and see things first. And then that's when I would start mingling with people. And plus, girl, I got them big ass glasses on. So I was like,
that's how I be. That's how I would be. Everybody makes fun of my glasses all the time. I'm like, so
huge. I'm like, why did you go in there with that? I'm like,
Stephanie, what was your cover story going in?
My cover story was I got caught with like cocaine. I don't know how much cocaine I had in my glove box, and then I was going to Florida, and then I was on a hold. But I when I got in.
Yeah.
So did anybody ever doubt that story? Did you know?
I don't think anybody ever doubted my story because I changed my story because I didn't like that story that they gave me. Because
I mean, honestly, I don't think,
I would have been like, really, coke?
Yeah, and I'm just like, everybody's on hold here. Like, all the people who are hold on 60 days in. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, no.
Are you watching the current season?
I watched a little bit of the current season. I haven't watched like all of it because I haven't really been like into it, especially after my season.
Yeah,
right. I watched like a little bit of it, and I do like. I would say that it takes a lot for them to go back in after they have been at a jail for so long. That takes like a lot of courage and guts to go back and do some crazy ass shit because that's a lot of time. 60 days for me was a lot of times, but like 8 years, 22 years, I'm like, geez.
How do you think you would do like on 20? Well, now they've changed it to 21-3. But how do you think you would do on 23-1 lockdown quarantine?
Oh, I don't know.
It drives me crazy. It gives me anxiety.
I don't know.
They do an unusual punishment.
They really couldn't be out. Like for us, we was allowed to be out because we had cameras coming in. And so it was 15 hours a day, but they let us out like a little bit. But I don't think that would like drive me like literally insane.
Yeah, I think it would too. Yeah, it gives me anxiety because, I think somebody compared it. I think it was you, Joey, right? You compared it to animal shelters. Like even the dogs get walked more than, like get out of their cages.
Even I get let out more than that. And I'm going.
That's a shame. They need to lock that down because that's dangerous.
I mean, dangerous. I just think that was nuts for them to be locked down for so long. So I get why they would like go crazy. I mean, you go from the world you live in to like going in a confined quarantine box.
Yeah.
In jail. And not only that, but it's loud. It's so loud.
Oh God, I know. I used to work in a facility. Yeah, so and I know it gets really loud, especially when their inmates are mad.
Yes.
It's over. Bring your earbuds and hope for the best.
Yeah, the thing is, though, because you figure you're going to say to yourself, if I'm in there that long, I'll just sleep. But with everybody banging, making noise, screaming, you can't sleep. So it's like you're up. That's crazy.
But that's why a lot of the inmates do drugs. They cheek it, just like Carlos is finding out, because a lot of inmates, that's all when you're sick, you want to sleep because you want to get through the sickness. But being on lockdown, you really just want to sleep your whole time away.
Yes.
Read and sleep. Read, walk, sleep, eat, sleep.
And then they have the small cell, and these guys are stuck with somebody else too in the small cell. And the person can be total opposite and a jerk and smelly and everything else. I feel bad for them. Like it's quarantine and I understand the 2 weeks, but like now what we know, like you give them the test or these participants that went in, they should have been a way for them to bypass it, like let them quarantine in a hotel or something beforehand, and maybe put them in quarantine. Maybe put them in the quarantine pod for like a couple days just to see what goes on in there. But to leave them in there for 14 days, that was a lot. That is a lot.
Well, I mean, just think about that. Like, even you had 15 days left, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine spending just the 15 days that you made it through all of that 45 day and just being in solitary confinement.
I couldn't. And we started getting locked down a lot. And I think that's also why they would end the show. One, because, you know, Angel said what she said, but also, too, there was just nothing left for me to even do at that point, because we literally every day getting locked down, because there was like a whole new set of women who came into our cell, because there was like a huge fight that happened that also wasn't shown on television. So when that was happening, it was like, they was like, oh, well, Stephanie, it's also just time for you to go anyways, because you're on lockdown every day. And I was getting irritated. I was getting real irritated because I was constantly on lockdown. Like, they didn't let us go outside. They didn't let us go in the day room. They fed us in our cells. I was getting irritated.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a caged animal. Now, you and you found out, you and Jackie, you know, found out that both you guys were participants. I remember she did something. What did she do? You asked her name and she looked at her bracelet or something.
Yeah, I asked her name at the table.
Like, why would you if you know your name? So that kind of outed it. Was there any other cast members in there that you knew? I forget, because your season was a while ago. Did any of the other cast members? Did you know that they were cast members? Or
I think Michelle. I knew she was a cast member from season 3 because I was actually in there with season 3.
Oh, okay.
It just edited me out. Like, I don't, like, during the last clip, like when Michelle was packing up to go home, you see like a blurred face. In the season, that was me, because they blurred me out because they didn't want me to see it because I was part of season 4. But I knew Michelle was, because she was on hold, and Michelle was real quiet. And she was also ready to go because I think she had been there. I mean, she's been there for 60 days. And I'm like, she's definitely part 60 days in.
Yeah. Yeah, you could tell the difference in the way that Jackie, she was definitely not the type that, you know, acted or looked like the criminal type. I mean, dyeing pink things and making a pink club and stuff like that. That was just, in my opinion, that was just a little weird. She was trying too hard. Hard.
Now, she did make, I will say, like, even though we do not speak for certain things, I'm not going to even speak on, but we just don't talk about it. But I will say, like, when she was making these origami things, like, nah, that was clever, because I'm like, you got a lot of creative in you to do that.
Right. Ooh, man. I don't know. I said that I would do the show just because I had worked in the facilities, but I don't know if I could. I really don't know if I could. I really don't know.
You don't know until you get in there, and then you're like, I don't know if I can or not. And some people who say they can, those are actually the ones who do make it.
Yeah.
And some of the people who say like they're going to make it, they're going to, whatever the case is, those are people sometimes who don't make it.
Hard-headed.
Yeah.
They're so confident they don't end up making it. Can you tell us what you get paid? What did you get paid like per, like how many days you made it through, or for the whole thing? How much did it?
Stephani's on no contract anymore.
Tell us then.
Yeah, so it was every Friday. We got paid every Friday. Did you want to know the amount?
Yeah. Oh, they paid you while you were actually in there. While you were in there, they paid you every Friday. Yeah. So what did they pay you every Friday?
Every Friday we were paid $3,000.
Oh
wow.
3 G.
All right, I'm signing up.
Now, did they give you? What about when you bought commissary though? Did they supply it, like you ordered and they gave you what you wanted, or you had to pay it out of pocket?
You had to pay out of pocket and call somebody at home to pay, but I did get reimbursed for that because they should have been paying for that while we were in there.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say the men got paid more on our season. They got paid $62,000, so every Friday they were bringing more money home in their season. So that's also an issue I had with the show when somebody was paid the same, but we really weren't.
That's ridiculous.
Wow. And the women I think the women are more brutal than the men, because I did both facilities, women and men, and women go way harder than men do, because men they kind of just chill and like migrate to where they want to go, and women, they just go after whoever.
We had a tablet.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything. We just had the women singing, which they can sing their asses off, but I'm like, that's all we had.
Yeah. So what do you think about?
You also had to deal with menstrual cycles, and then like the shaving and the hygiene stuff and all that stuff. That boys could be dirty. They're used to being dirty. You know, they run around in dirt. They play sports. they get a little sweaty. It's not a big deal. But us women, like, we need to have our stuff to keep ourselves clean, especially certain times of the month.
Yeah.
And
what's dirtier, a woman's public bathroom or men?
Women's.
Thank you.
Yes, it is. I don't know why women still try to hovercraft and leave the remnants behind, but y'all need to stop that.
Hovercraft. Were you doing that recently, Lauren? Hovercrafting? I like that.
That's what I call it.
It's great.
So did they pay you since they pulled you early? Did they pay you for the extra 2 weeks?
Yes.
Good.
Oh wow, good. Okay.
I made sure.
I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't quit.
Right, and I think that's probably why we had some issues. Mind you, it was issues before me and her. Before there was things that was said on the show that didn't get aired, so that was our rift that we had too, and also things that transpired afterwards, and we just couldn't get back on track with being, friends and cordial or whatever. But I would say that I don't know I can't tell you if she stopped getting paid or what have you, because normally if you do leave, if you tap out, you don't get your money. So I think everybody was mad at me. It was I made her leave, and I'm like, in any of these shows, nobody makes anybody leave. You sit there and ask you, do you want to go home? It's either yes or no.
Right.
That's it, plain as day.
Yep. I didn't understand that. That, I mean, it's your decision inevitably in the end, but
Yeah, and I didn't. Don't get me wrong. After the show, people screenshotting everything I was saying on Facebook and stuff, because I had talked about her child one time. Her child that had passed away, and I did apologize for that. So I was going to resurface that and bring that back up to let people know, I was wrong in that situation, because sometimes when people is irritating me and I tell you we just need to stop talking and you keep coming for me, I can hit below the belt when I shouldn't do that.
Right.
I wouldn't want somebody doing that to me, talking about my child that passed away. So I shouldn't have did that to her, and so I apologize publicly. I also apologize to her, even though we aren't friends, because that was just wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're in jail.
Yeah.
On top of being in jail with the other women and the other drama, it was wrong. But sometimes you lose your temper and you say things that you shouldn't have said, and you apologize. And I remember at the reunion that you guys did. You guys did make up. You guys made up at the end of the day at the reunion. There was apologies, and you guys made up, and everything was so good. All good. So.
Are you friends with anyone from that? You still in contact with anyone from your stint?
Not from really my season, but I will say I talked to Isaiah and he's doing well. I talked to him. I used to talk to Jasmine. She's really busy.
Okay. I would talk to Jasmine too, and I hit her up and I didn't get a response. Jasmine was always so sweet and nice. I wasn't friends, but I would talk to her we're Instagram friends, and we would talk to her there. And she was Jasmine. She was always awesome and sweet. And who else?
I don't really talk to anybody else really. I think
so. You have a
really life, but whatever the case is, or they're trying to get on something else, or they are part of this show family, which everybody knows. I'm really not. For the reasons for my season, but other than that, I'm just I always wish everybody well in the season and in the show. It sucks sometimes, especially I kind of feel for this season. I like people, I like Lynn in this season, but I feel for them when they are watching it now.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to be portrayed any kind of way than what they are, knowing they already went to jail, and then you already scrutinized for going to jail, because people are going to say what they want to say online.
Right.
Whatever, and then you scrutinize even more from an edit that's not even portrayed as you. But at the end of the day, we signed up for something, but what I didn't sign up for is signing up for somebody to put defamation of character on my name. That's something I didn't sign up for, and I was pissed about that.
Right. Yeah. So what do you think about Lynn? Have you seen that part where Lynn actually goes home?
Yeah, I did see that part, and I'm I couldn't feel I didn't feel oh, you should stay. You know what I'm saying? I get we're on to stay, but it's when you are in there, it is totally different. Mind you, I've never went to jail before until that time, and she has, and I don't know what her life was before she got in jail. But I can feel for her, and it's hard. And she was crying. There was a lot you could see the tears in her eyes was real. She had.
We said it last week that we were kind of hoping that it would be one of those cliffhanger edits where she's I want to go home, but then this week it'll be but I think I'll stay. But it wasn't.
Her problem was her
She
main
couldn't
problem
do it.
was that quarantine and being in
Yeah.
quarantine and not sleeping. She wanted prescriptions to
Yep.
put her to sleep, and then her sobriety became into question. And that's
Yeah.
what at that point, like, because she would have been an awesome participant. I wish
Oh,
they
she
could have
was.
just somehow finagle something to go
Yeah.
put her in general population and get her out of that quarantine. And Tim went home too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tim went home. Tim was, oh my God, his I got a headache distress signal. I was like, could you be any more obvious? Like, medical, I got a headache.
Right. What'd you think of
Stephanie,
that?
how
Tim?
long of a process is to get on the show? Because it seems like they put in a lot of work to kind of like just leave after a day. I mean, I don't know.
It's pretty extensive. Like they'll tell you, you get an email like you got on a show. Afterwards, you got to go through physical. You have to. They don't care if you had a physical in a year. You got to get a new physical. You have to get a psychiatric like test to make sure you are mentally able to go in here. They do an extensive background check on you. They do blood work on you. They get shots, like new shots for you to go in. So it's like very serious. You even have to take some kind of quiz to make sure you still are mentally able to do it.
Right.
And then you travel there, and how long are you in? How long are you in a hotel before that? Because you went through training too, right? So how long are you in that state in a hotel before they book you into jail? It's not overnight.
I was in my hotel for like, I want to say it was probably like 3 days because, mind you, we had to do a little filming in the beginning, and then we had to do some filming the next day, and then I went in the morning because me and Alan had seen each other, so I knew Alan. I was the only person I knew on the show. But me and him, I actually went in the morning. He went in at night, but of course they play it like he went in first, which is fine.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of how it went. Wow. I didn't stay in my hotel long, but I heard like certain people from my season stayed in their hotel a lot longer for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think about, what really bugged me is the fact that during this episode, did you see where I forgot her name. What's the shorter girl's name? She went to go see the sheriff, and she said some people had been in quarantine for up to 30 days.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they changed it. Yep.
Yeah, that's insane.
I really couldn't, and I really do hope. And I know people say like, "Oh, I hope these shows changes people," but sometimes like
they don't.
I'm like, for who? Like, who do you want the show to change? Because mind you, like the show is for entertainment purposes.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it's for, and it's sad because I realized that like a couple of months after I got out the show, like I shouldn't even did the show because of how they exploit certain things and how things are just. Right. And I don't feel like things change because some people come in like when we come in as participants, some participants come out worse.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah, God yeah.
Like the marriage, that things don't happen, and it sucks because. I mean, your contract even says, even if you, and I'm not joking, like the contract literally says, like if you pass away, if you get sick, if your cat, if you don't have a relationship with your cat, your dog, your family, if something breaks up, we are not responsible. They tell you that it can happen, and it has, and it's sucks.
What do you think of the Nate situation? Do you think that 60 days in played a part in his mental problems? It's hard to tell, right?
Yeah, it's because I didn't really know Nate personally, and I didn't really talk to him afterwards. So I knew he had, served. But again, when you do that mental background on people, and you make sure the psychiatric, you make sure that they're well. So apparently he was well enough to go into the program, and he did an awesome job.
And they kept him there though. They asked him to stay, and then he stayed an extra 60 days. So
he did an amazing job, and I think that it could have played. I won't say that it will because I don't know what his life was even when he was with his girlfriend. I have no clue what goes on behind closed doors. So I don't like to judge anybody's life, but it could have because I know that the show played a factor in many participants in them being how they are today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that the dad and the son situation with the Mormon, that one dad went crazy. The dad with the Mormon, were they on your season now, right?
Yeah, they were on my season. And
they were, right? Yes. Yeah. The dad went crazy when he's in the cell and he's like doing these.
Yeah, and the son did too. I think he had he got real depressed after the show. Like he got into a real bad depression.
But the son did good, and the dad spent his time in jail, so worried about the son that screwed up his time in the jail.
Yeah.
I guess I can see how that is too. Would you want to be and see what could have happened? The producers could have told him he was going to be with his son, and so I probably understand that. But then when he got in, they probably was like, we have no control. Now you're separated. So once he had that feeling that he's probably gonna be with his sons and everything changed when you got in, I don't. That's probably where he was like, I can't do this because you told me one thing and something else happened.
Right.
Everybody in chat is saying how pretty you are. Now,
I know.
you were on with Johnny Ramirez.
I'm so sorry. Thank you.
Johnny Ramirez, he's awesome. I follow him on Instagram and he does lives and stuff. He's cool. So
Johnny.
that girl had a seizure during the this episode. One of the girls is having a seizure in her cell, and the guards aren't coming over. Did you witness any of that? Anything like that?
A girl had a seizure in our cell, and they had her on the wrong floor. They had her on like we only had 1 and 2 bunks. They had her on 2, and she was having a seizure. And the guard drags her down the stairs, and you can't drag her. She's having a seizure. You cannot do that. What you need to do, first of all, she shouldn't even be on the floor. You need to flip her on her side. You send her in her mouth or a pillow, and you need to let her go at her seizure, not throw her down the stairs.
Right. Yeah. That is one thing that I'll say, like, what I notice is these guards, they're not medically trained properly.
No.
You know, to handle that kind of situation.
They're not trained with a lot of things, I don't think.
But I mean, you know, you can clearly see that this chick is seizing. Her eyes are rolling in the back of her head, and you hear, "Pick your feet up. Put your feet up." What?
Exactly. They told the same girl in 5 seasons. They told her to walk, and I'm like, how can she walk?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I have a family member who died in jail.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter was 4 or 5, I forget. They died in jail. It was my husband at the time, his uncle. He was in jail, and he was telling them his chest hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They gave him some aspirin, sent him back to his bunk. He was begging, take me to the nurse. Goes to the nurse, they give him another aspirin, send him back to his bunk. They refused to call 911, and he had a heart attack and died. And
like,
you know,
sad.
The family, you know, that his side of the family has a lawsuit with the jail. Do you want me to share your Instagram, promote you and share your Instagram and chat? I don't know if you want to keep it private or if you mind to people.
They can always follow me. Like, I usually go one by one to follow people, but the moment somebody says something crazy, I'm like, nah.
That's why I wanted to ask. And I think you have a private Instagram anyway where you can accept or deny. I don't know if you still do, but I'll share your Instagram and chat for anybody who is interested in following.
I will accept you.
Joe's gonna stop.
No, I know. I'm saying I'm asking her to give it to me so I could.
Yeah, sure.
Send your request.
And I think one thing that has always bothered me, because you're like, oh, girl, that probably aren't that crazy. I'm actually not crazy. I'm actually not I don't even know what solid they called me. I don't know if it was a sociopath or a psychopath, but that I am not. And that we had a big debate over once the camera said break. Everybody got up. I got out of my chair so fast, and I'm like, at that point, we going off. And the angel was like, they're going to make you look really bad. They're going to make you look like the villain on the show. And I'm like, I'm pissed that she even had called me that. I'm like, I'm irritated. And the producers are like, don't worry. It's just a show. Don't take it personal. It's okay. It's going to get cut out. And then I'm sitting there watching with everybody. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That in there when you said you weren't, and we just had a discussion about that.
Oh yeah, they had a big team meeting. They were like, we can't cut that. That's good. That's good.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
I was so heated. So that's when everybody assumed I'm like crazy and sociopath and psychopath. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? If I was, I wouldn't be on the show. And I can't even, a sociopath and psychopath, somebody who like kills.
Hey, Randy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're someone that is what do you have with neuroscience again?
A biomedical
neuroscience sociopath. The worst kind.
The worst. The smartest kind.
With street cred because she's been to prison, y'all. So watch it.
You didn't get any. When you were in there, you didn't get any new tats, did you? You didn't get any ink when you were in there, did you?
No, I just got all of them when I got out.
I know. I'm just breaking.
I just got a new tattoo what was that, 2 weeks
ago?
Yeah.
I didn't want anything in there.
Amber loves fruit. She's got the pineapple on her arm.
Hey, fruit, whatever you choose, baby. Go. If it makes you happy, do it.
I got 8 tattoos.
I don't know how many I have. 7.
Well, you got a whole sleeve, it looks like.
I do. I have a whole sleeve. Then I have like.
How do you even count that? Is that like 1 total, or is it?
We're gonna say 1.
See, that's what I always wonder. Like, how do people count like a sleeve? Like, is it just 1 total?
Yeah, I counted one. I have one on my neck. I have this rose on my neck, and I might get another one. But my neck hurts so bad.
Oh, God,
51 51 people in chat, hit the thumbs up. If anybody has any questions for Stephanie, put them in the chat, please. Please make them appropriate. Okay, so we saw Chase come in too, and then he has a TikTok following. So Carlos, who's actually a participant, went up to him and outed him for, not outed him, but mentioned his TikTok account.
Well, that's pretty much,
check.
you know, yeah.
Well, he did out into the other inmates.
Out of mute.
Yeah, that's crazy when they do that, though. I don't know if it seems like that would be a little scripted, but I don't know. I mean, why you would give that info out?
They always say unscripted TV shows. I'm like, bullshit. This is some of the stuff we say was definitely scripted. They tell us what to say, and then we say it, and then they finish a sentence because our sentence, they say finish in a complete sentence. Then they would say this, but in a complete sentence. So they will them talking because everybody always thought we were talking to ourselves. There's another producer on the side of the camera asking you a question and telling you what to say at times, and then you're just saying it, and then they cut themselves out talking.
Well, there you have it. So
there you go. Secrets of the show revealed.
Yep.
I usually tell all the secrets if I get any answers. I usually tell it because I don't.
So what does your family feel about you going in? Like, I mean, you couldn't tell them, right?
I couldn't tell them, but they told me I could tell my mom. My mom, and people thought that was scripted, but it wasn't. My mom was actually really pissed. She was mad, and she was about to throw her drink on me. She was pissed.
Oh, really?
Yes. She left, and then the producer's like, "Go after her, go after her." I'm like, "I'm not going after my mama. She will run me over."
Yeah. That's dang. Crazy. So what's up? I mean, so what's going on for you for the future? Like, I know you said you're still in school. You're going for your nursing.
Yeah, probably. I don't know the future. I guess it just all tells. I do want to do be a traveling nurse.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, and I want to travel the world. I'm the kind of person like I've went to Tulum recently, so I like to travel and visit different countries. I got a passport. We live once, so why not?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. We like to just like mingle and jingle with people, and if people want to collab, by all means, we can. Just like I came on here, I like to do stuff like this, but I'm not really like a person where I'm like, oh, I'm going to be on another show. Like people thought I was like that, and I'm like, no, because
I'm good. I got a bucket list checked off. I'm good.
Yeah. Of all shows you picked, that is a badass show to go. You put yourself in jail. Yeah. That is one badass show that you picked. I got to give you credit for that. And I mean, they called you the villain. There was some, you did some shit. You were shady, but that's life. You were in jail. You were in jail with criminals.
The editing.
No, but I'm saying you were in jail with criminals. What did they want you to do? Like, please and thank you and everything else. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you.
Right. You were in jail.
I don't know what they expected me to do or what I was supposed to do because I did not go in there doing with that intent. Be like, this is how I'm going to be. I just played it how everybody else was playing it. And it's hard to be like, I'm just going to sit back. I'm like, no, okay, let me do this. Here. Like, you can't do that because we already talk different anyways when we went to Fulton County. Everybody has an accent. You put everybody in a jail that doesn't have an accent. That's highly suspicious.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you think about, I mean, you said like when you went in, you played like you have is there somebody now?
Oh, I'm married. I have my wife.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I know my other relationship I was in, my wife is not the one that was on the show. Like when it was like, where's she now? It's not my wife.
Oh my God, congratulations. Any like kiddos, any kind of plans?
Like in the future, because I just want to travel the world first, do what I'm going
to do. You're young though. Yeah.
Get in school and stuff like that. Take it slow.
Exactly.
The kid is my 130 pounds.
Congratulations. Wow.
So there's some guys in the chat here. They want to know. So there's no chance of you like.
She's married. On top of that, Joey.
Married.
Cancel your follow request.
Instagram.
We were just talking about that, Amber. With the other show. So.
No, but I do enjoy Friends, and when I say Friends, I'm serious. When I say I'm not like Friends with benefits, no, I do enjoy Friends. So if they want to be my friends, by all means. But I just no. I'm sorry,
John. You're okay, John. John, I get your sense of humor, John Wolf. Guys, leave John alone unless he's being super disrespectful. He's good. I'll block him if I feel like he's out of line. But I appreciate everything my mods do. But thank you for helping. But I think I'm keeping an eye on him. I'm giving him that smile because he knows who I am now. He outed me. And if he doesn't want to lose a finger, he's going to behave. But anyway, on the lighter note,
Joey,
you were one of my favorite
kids.
I'm telling you, Steph was one of my favorite castmates so far.
Yes. Yeah.
Her and Tony were two of my favorite castmates.
Yeah.
Tony.
I'm also like, I mean, just from a different season, what was his name? The priest guy. I can't remember his name. Abner. I liked Abner.
Was that
Abner?
Yeah, Abner. Yeah, he was one of my favorites too because he got batted about it in there too because he charged somebody up in that cell one day. I was like, oh no, go.
Right. Oh,
then he was going to cut the black guy's hair. That was another thing he almost got in trouble for.
Yeah. Everybody always does that. Like, oh, they're going to be the pop boss now or something like that. But you really have to hold your own because it's not like the producers like come in and save you if somebody's going to swing on you or you're going to have a fight. Like they literally are going to record the fight. They're not going to step in and help.
They're not going to stop it.
Tony was going to get down, I thought, a couple of times. Tony would have been a good pod boss.
Oh, yeah.
Tony.
But they're not even there on the weekends. So on the weekends, I feel like it was more fights on the weekends because I feel like some people knew. They knew when the producers would come in. They never came in on Saturday and Sundays. And that's when the biggest fights will happen. And so some people were scared to stay that long because the producers will come back on Mondays. And I'm like,
Okay, so here's one thing. Okay, and I asked because I was watching this with my husband, and I'm like, how do they do this? So now that you want, you're not under contract or anything.
No.
Okay, so when you give, like, say, the distress signal, because somebody, they've done this 2 or 3 times, right? So far, even like 3 episodes in.
Yeah.
So do they do that? Being that there's a whole camera crew, because how do they sneak the camera crew in, pull the contestants out, or the cast members, but do they also do that for other inmates to keep it normal? What's the storyline?
Like you want to give an interview is like how they got the one guy out on the show.
Yeah, because they're walking up with cameras and microphones and like, how do you do that?
They try to keep it as normal as possible. So they will like try to like when you get a distress signal, they will come in. But sometimes it's really suspicious. Like if somebody gives a distress signal at 12 midnight and they're walking in with the cameras, they're like, why are they coming in so late? When that's not their normal pattern. So people start questioning, is this 60 days in? But they in the daytime, they only would come in 3 times a week. So with the camera crew, and that's it. And then that's when they would pull people out, and that's all we did. And then the rest of it was from like what you've seen in the cells. But they would tell people it was a documentary, and only one other person, like how you always see the sheriff or whatever. Right. That was the only people that was supposed to only know that it was 60 days in. But apparently there was other people in the it was guards and stuff that knew it was 60 days in. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So, but do they pull other regular, like real inmates out to do interviews just to keep it normal? Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, they tried to, but the thing with our season was they would come in the same pods. Like they would come in the same cells. Like if I was in one, Jackie was in, my Angel was in one, they would come in the same 3, and people picked up on that. Like, why do they keep coming in just like these 3? All of them.
Yeah, that's too much danger.
They start trying to pinpoint who is it in that room that's part of the show.
Right. Yeah.
Whew. Especially after they had one season that was the best because nobody knew about 60 Days In. Now, everybody knows about 60 Days In. So cameras and all that coming in, things did look suspicious. But that Tim, when he gave the distress signal, oh my God, my head really does hurt. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then it's like, he comes in and says, oh, do you want to do an interview? I thought you just had a headache. It's like, you want to do an interview? Yeah. I mean, it's like, it was just, I don't know.
I was like, if he doesn't go home after this interview, he's done. He's over. It's over.
Yeah. And what was wrong with him? He had high blood pressure. Did they even check his blood pressure, or is that was just an excuse he used? Like,
well, he said, he had somebody that passed away from a stroke or a heart attack or something in his family, and his face was red. His bunkie was saying that his face was red.
Okay, but my face gets red too when I'm annoyed, or
But why didn't they check his blood pressure? Like,
when they take him
like an emergency.
Because he wants to harm his blood pressure. That's why he wanted to go home.
He was just anxiety attacked. Got to get out.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it had really happened that way. Like, who knows? I mean, when you go home, you go home. But whatever happened afterwards, because I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "That's not really gonna happen." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
I don't know. I'm looking forward to this next scene with Carlos and the sheriff because he's not happy.
No, something happens.
Well, he
And it has
gave
to
up
be-
info on that dude.
Yeah, and Darius, Darius, have you had your headache yet? Like what? Like stop it.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you all think like a lot of people are gonna last this season?
I don't.
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah.
Carlos is in population now. I think he'll be fine now that he's in population. That TikTok guy, he got into population too. They didn't show him in quarantine. Did they show that TikTok guy in quarantine? Did I miss something?
I didn't see him in quarantine.
No, they
No.
What?
Well, maybe no. Remember, because now they're out 3 hours a day, so maybe he was coming in during their out time.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. He seems a little cocky, in my opinion, already.
He's
So what?
cocky. Yeah, because
Rose.
When you get cocky like that is when they turn it on you. Those are the ones that bow out the quickest.
Oh,
I think Rose will do good. And did this Trinity person go in yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. I think Rose would do good. She's already doing good. Rose.
Yeah.
She's connecting like on a closer level with some of these like as like a mama type figure. I think Rose will do good. But that leaves 1, 2. We got Carlos, Rose. Tim's gone. Lynn's gone. So Darius and Chase, and we'll see what happens with Trinity. We've already lost 2. So
already
3 episodes.
Yeah, already.
I don't think I could do it. I just don't. I need my anxiety medications.
Well, that's the thing. If they give us medication in there, I could do it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I could do it if I had my Xanax. Yeah, I'd be like, all right, cool.
No, any medication they tell you before you go on a show. They're like, hey, do you take any medications for migraines or whatever? And then they're like, well, you're not going to have them in jail. So what do you do fine without them? Because I actually struggle from migraines. Like I've taken injections because I have really bad migraines. So they're like, well, you're not going to have them. I'm like, oh, shit. And I start getting a really bad headache like the first couple of days I was in there. And I don't know if it's because I couldn't go to the bathroom or what it was. I was around about 8 minutes. Yeah. I'm like, I just couldn't do it. They was like, do you want to go home? And I'm just like, no, I just figured out.
The smells too. It smells certain, like, I don't know what it smells like in jail. I'm sure it doesn't smell good, but certain smells give me headaches. You know what I mean? When something smells bad, like a musty, and I get headaches from that. So what happens? But how do these other girls are getting meds because it's like psychological meds? Is that what they're getting?
Yeah, it's like prescribed to them. So they're already getting it. But like for us, we couldn't even get any because one's our names are even not our names. So we couldn't get anything. So it's just like you have to buy it off of people if you were really like wanting something.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I would go crazy. I couldn't do it.
Well, never mind. It's not that hard to buy because people like Stephanie actually like have the means to get commissary, so it's not hard for her to get them. People like Stephanie,
that's true.
you know. So
easy, like but then at the time when you and I don't know if it is for them as well, but when you get commissary, they put like your address and your name on there. So I don't know if all the participants did it, but I know for me, as soon as I would get the bag, I rip it off and throw it down the toilet because it shows like that you're not from where you say you're from. So then your person doesn't even add up.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
I always had to throw it down the toilet really quick.
So they were putting your address on your commissary. You keep in touch. This is anybody in chat have a question? Write it down now because I got to get off in a couple minutes. So put it in chat for Stephanie, and I'd love to have you on another time. I mean, I'll hit you up. We do this like once a week. Amber does stuff on her channel too. I'll give her your Instagram. Listen, you're welcome to come on and chat again if you want. You're lovely to have on. We like you. But any of the inmates, did you speak to any of the inmates after the show?
I did. I was not supposed to. I was told by producers not to and to block them. I did not because I felt that it was my job to tell them that this is what's going to happen. And I don't know how it was going to make them look either. So I'm like, hey, this is not what it is. And I did feel really bad because you get a connection with them and then you start lying. And everybody lies. I understand that, but it's hard for me and a couple for the other participants. So I'm just like, I couldn't. So I reached out to what's her name? I'm trying to figure out No, not Kitty Boo. I sent her a message because she had went to prison, so I sent her a message and told her. I sent another person who I was in there with. I forget her name because everybody has nicknames. And then I did tell Angel's girlfriend at the time because we weren't really talking for real, but I had sent her a message and be like, hey, like this is what it is. This is not how it was, supposed to be on a show. And I just want you to know that, like, I hope you do better. But, I was just encouraging them and telling them who I was. And then saying, if you want to keep in contact, then we keep in contact. Other than that, if you don't, I understand because everybody thinks we the po-po. So I get it.
You're a rat. You're a snitch. Right.
Yeah, and I get it. So I was just like, you have every right to be mad if that's how you feel.
Mm-hmm. See, I think, honestly, like, if I was an inmate and, like, someone like you and the other contestants came in and it was to fix the facility, I don't think I would have, but again, I've never been locked up either. So, but I don't think I would have, like, such, I don't think I would have resentment against people that actually came in and put their lives on the line to sort out where the problems were, like I would probably be like, wow, that's all right. That's pretty
It depends. Bad. It depends. If I am a convict who's in and out of jail, and when I get to jail, I'm buying drugs. Next time, and you're one of the ones that's making it hard for me to find drugs when I get into jail.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, screw that. If you ain't giving me my Xanax, you got issues.
They're pissed at us. I think
get more.
I didn't.
If you're helping me get more feminine products and more cleaning products for my body and more out time, and these prison and the guards that were like kind of abusive to some of these, if you're helping that stuff, that's one thing. But then if you're cutting off the drug supply in there and all that stuff, that people might not like. But the other stuff, there's a lot you can help out that's positive by telling.
You can, and I don't know if they did that again with these other seasons, but for ours, every time a person would leave, like when Jackie had left, and she said she wanted to go, they did a whole they rated everybody. They took all their shit out, like everything. And then when Angel left, they did the same thing. So every time a participant would leave, they would rate everything and take her shit out and try to find drugs and knives and stuff. And mind you, I had heard in the beginning that after Angel left, I heard that we was going to get a shakedown. So I did tell the other girls, I'm like, hey, we're going to get a shakedown because I heard about it. Because one of the officers had told me. And then I was like, hey, you need to hide your stuff and stuff like that. Because one thing I wasn't trying to do is stop their stuff. Whatever you do in jail, do in jail. But for me, it was more so the officers. So when I did leave, I did tell about the officers who were being shitty and abusing their power. But I did not tell on the former inmates to be like, oh, they had this, they had that. Because that's what you want to do. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they're going to see some of the stuff. They saw you whip at parties on TV. So they saw it. Anyway, so what do you get?
So it doesn't matter. And that was the thing. People were like, oh, you didn't tell on that. But it's not going to stop anything because in Fulton County Jail, nothing was done. And I know that for a fact because I was in contact with one of the former inmates when she got out and she told me, she was like, Stephanie, girl, nothing changed. The colonel, he's still there. He doesn't care about us. She was like, she's like, people still having sex with inmates. Nothing changed. She's like, and nobody got fired. Nothing.
Guards are having sex with inmates?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, that's a big no-no.
And she was just she's like, nothing changed here. And I was like, damn, that's we just it almost we went in to waste our time and it looked stupid.
Oh it's like most things, the government, the war on drugs, they take out one drug lord and then another guy comes in and more drugs get in. You're
yeah,
right. I'm just really happy in Fulton County. Nothing changed there. But my hope was for the people that I had a connection with, or for the girls, the women, for them to go out and be a better version of themselves and not come back. Because for me, I'm like, these people want you to come back here. They don't care about you.
Yeah.
They want you. Here. This show also wants to make you look stupid, in my opinion, because they're not really telling your stories. If I feel like Unscripted is telling a story, that means you're telling inmate stories, you're telling our stories, you're really letting people know their stories, and nobody's stories were told. It was just fights, what's this, with that, entertainment.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Golly.
Woo. All right. Any other questions? Do we have any other? Read Guilt for the Guiltless, Audiobook. I'll put that up on screen for everybody. That doesn't have to do with you, but I didn't see any other questions. Joe, do you have any other questions for
Good.
Stephanie?
Somebody was asking what alprazolam is. That's Xanax.
Mhm.
So
these guys have tried to be funny on here. What's that? They
okay.
don't know.
My bad. Oh,
Friday
my
is payday. So what happened? Did the check get directly deposited into your bank account every Friday from the 60 days in?
Yes, I'm sorry, that was funny. It's Friday payday. It probably is.
Yeah,
For
I
them.
know.
Yes, every Friday it was payday, and it got directly deposited in our bank.
That's
See,
cool. And then
you
you
might
do
have a
whatever.
new contestant for 60 days in, Lauren NB. You're gonna want to
Hey
3Gs
Primo,
every
how are
Friday.
you? Primo.
Pretty good.
Let her know. You said Lauren?
Well,
Yeah, my
and,
name's Lauren. Lauren, Amber, Joey, Stephanie.
Yes. And I met everybody.
Nice to meet you, Steph.
I love being.
And come over for a few beers and some sports talk. Not today. We're going over 60 days in, but Joe will do some sports talk with you soon. Well, Steph, you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and thank you so much. And we'll be in touch. Joe, I followed her on your Instagram. She just needs to follow you back. It's Joey Mo Bay 8th. If you have a request from Joe's account, Amber, if you don't have it, I'll send you her link.
Yeah.
I will. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you, Stephanie.
I will definitely come back. And for the people in the comments, thank you. I appreciate your comments and being positive. So I appreciate that.
It was
tell
fun.
Your wife, congratulations on your marriage, and I hope y'all
Yeah.
travel. And congratulations on everything you're doing. So keep
Thank
that
you.
up. Keep it
Thank
pushing.
you all too. I love
Yeah,
it.
good luck with everything too. So
Thank you so much.
appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on.
Yes.
Have a good one.
And bye, guys.
Ding ding, another one.
Elle just went quiet. Elle just like quiet.
See,
No, I'm
now,
here. No.
See, now, Lauren,
That was a nice-
remember before we were talking and you were saying, like, how do you think these interviews are going to go? You think it's going to be cool? And I'm like, look at how that went. I think it went really well.
That was
You know
great.
what I mean? I think it's cool. I mean,
Yeah. Impromptu.
The thing was, it was, I had spoken to her all day, and it was, we were doing it at 6, and then she had a little, like Amber, she felt, Amber falls asleep, and then she got tied off and lost track of time. So then we went a different direction with the show, and then she called and said, hey, I'm here. So I'm sorry the show was a little, in the beginning, was a little, off track.
we'll
but
do some editing.
Yeah. No, I'm not even going to edit. It is what it is,
Yeah.
Oh, and let me just say one thing to the people in the chat. Okay? We know if we have a guest on, okay, could you please, because we're not even going to waste time. You're just going to get thrown out. Okay, so don't come in with the stupid comments and really, it's not like, we got to show just a little bit of respect. The girl is nice enough to come on the show. I don't know about people talking about prices and talking about, the Long Island Lolita and making the stupid comments, but seriously, can you hold off for 20 minutes? Now, if you want to make the stupid comments, go right ahead right now. But not while the girl's on, because you're not even going to last. We're just going to put you in timeout or get rid of you altogether.
Hey, Tony, Gina, we just ended, so you'll have to go back. Assassinino, how are you, my brother? Amber, Assassinino saying hi to you. Joe, Assassinino saying hi to you. He's saying hi to all of us. So anyway, let's say goodbye and end that on that note, because that was a pretty cool show.
Well,
I love her.
Wait a second now. Hold on.
What?
Can I ask Amber a couple of questions, please? Geez, I haven't talked to her in a day.
Okay.
How are you feeling, Amber?
I'm good. My tattoo started peeling now. It's
you gotta put Lubriderm, right? Lubriderm.
Yeah.
Lubriderm.
No, I'm using. They always say Lubriderm, but I use the butt paste, not the butt paste. What do you call that? The yellow gold stuff. I don't know what that stuff is. Not the Vaseline, but it's in the tube. It's the
Neosporin.
It's not Neosporin. It's like a thicker thing. I forgot what it is.
Oh, it's not Neosporin. It's fuck. I know the name.
Hold on, now I gotta go get it because that's gonna drive me crazy.
A&D ointment.
Aquaphor.
Yes, A&D. No,
Aquaphor.
A&D ointment.
No, they wanted to try to. No, they wanted to try to sell me some Aquaphor, and I'm like, not for $24
the
in the
A&D
tattoo
ointment.
shop.
Yep.
Yeah, I got A&D, and that's what I've used for every tattoo I've ever had. So, yes, you can save your $24, and I'll put that towards a new tattoo next time. So,
Yeah, Los Bacitracin. Yep.
Yeah.
Got a million different names.
And
As a matter of fact,
yeah,
you
everybody
got me
was for the most part respectful.
Yeah.
I got you Aquaphor. Yeah, baby Aquaphor though. The baby's the best because it's for baby skin that's like newborns. Because Joe's been having a little bit of dry skin issue.
Yeah.
Oh, Amber, I didn't talk.
Mhm.
So let me give everybody a quick little update on my little one's first day of school. All summer,
Oh, yeah.
she's a night owl. Her bedtime's been 2-3 a.m.
No,
So
later. Go ahead.
okay, 4 a.m. 4 a.m. And then she's sleeping until I come home from work. And I've been working kind of like a different shift this summer. This is the first summer where I didn't have to put her in summer camp because I felt like she's old enough to be home.
Yeah.
You know, every summer for years, I've been paying thousands of
kind of like a
dollars for her to go to
babysitter,
summer camp Monday through Friday. And this is the first year. Actually, last summer I was still on that C word relief, the pandemic relief, so I didn't have to work. But so she's finally old enough where she could stay home. But I've changed my work schedule around a little, so I wasn't really working a full day. So I'm home by 1-2 o'clock, and she's just waking up then, and then she's up all night. So Wednesday night, Thursday night. Last night was Thursday. Wednesday night, she had a friend over, and Tuesday night, she had friends stay over because the whole summer friends sleep over. Anyway, so
We got her sneakers today.
oh, you got her sneakers today. Good. So she's been waking herself early the past 2 days. They've been staying up late, but waking up earlier in the morning to try to make it so she can go to bed early. So she took a nap yesterday. Like 8:30 to like 11. Then she was up the whole night.
Oh God, is she asleep right now?
Yeah, as soon as she came in.
But why did they make them start on Friday? That is so stupid. My kids have been in school since August 9th. So
yeah, man.
I'm almost a month in.
I'm glad. Wait a second now. Okay, so sorry, it just popped in my head, and when I get a thought, I don't want to lose it because I lose thoughts. So remember we were talking yesterday about Jackson, Mississippi, and how they don't have water and everything, and I made a comment, a throwaway comment, like I hope it's not racially motivated. Do you remember when I said that, like it's a black, that it's not a black thing? I said I don't know the population of Jackson, Mississippi, so I don't want to say that it's a racial thing, but listen to this now. Jackson, Mississippi is 83% black.
Yep.
And they're giving one case of water to a family. A case of water.
That does nothing. Because you got to brush your teeth with
billions of dollars. We're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. Now there's flooding in Pakistan. Okay. We're sending money. They're fighting for money for us to send to Pakistan. But it's crazy how like Flint, Michigan didn't have water, predominantly black. Look at Katrina, bro. Sorry, bro. I know you're not my bro. I just say it a lot. But Katrina, they didn't even rebuild those projects. Where'd those people go? They lost everything.
Yeah.
And now America needs to wake up. Seriously.
Yeah, because Jackson, Mississippi, mainly Mississippi in general, it's dangerous. Like, we talked about it with Heidi, Elle, I don't know if you were in the chat that day. She always said, she hates going through. Yeah, she hates going through Mississippi, But yeah, Jackson, Mississippi, like the population is very, 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 very slim, if any, multiple cultural race, like ethnicities. It's predominantly, like you said, 82% black population. The white population is probably
it was 12%
under 20. Yeah, like it's okay, yeah. So under 20%, and then nothing else after that. Like maybe a few. There's really just So it's not that far of a stretch to say it could be racially motivated. You got Flint. I mean, all of that.
I mean, if this was Iowa, would there be an issue? I mean, I don't know. I just think to myself, like an outsider looking in, it's like you start connecting dots. Wait a minute now, because I'm thinking like we're giving, like I pay attention to I watch CNN and Fox News, and they're always talking about like, oh, President Biden is sending $10 billion, and we're sending all these weapons over to Ukraine to fight Russia, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you think that like they have a problem in Jackson, Mississippi? That these other
where's
states,
the outrage?
People should be like, a case of water. They should have all the case. I mean, seriously, like we should be, looking to help.
That should be a FEMA.
It's America.
That should be a FEMA automatic FEMA.
It should have been like
right? Yeah,
trailer loads of trailer loads of water, and they don't even have, it's not even the thing with like bottled water. They don't even have water. What happens if you got to take a shit? You can't even flush your toilet.
Yep. Which causes other further problems, medical problems. I mean,
but how do you take a shit in a toilet, and what do you do?
Yep.
Like, we're not going to talk about this right now.
No,
this is not a topic we're talking about.
Well, no, it's the topic that we brought up, and the topic I want to talk about, because these things are important.
No. This question in chat, the question in chat that I highlighted, I said we're not going to talk about right now. The Danny Trio thing. We're not talking about.
What is the Danny Trio thing? He seems like
we're not talking about it. It doesn't matter. We're not bringing that up right now. I don't know the whole Danny Trio.
I think about Danny Trio. Wait, I want to tell you what I think about Danny Trio. I think Danny Trio is a smart man, and he's got a business, and like he just got involved with this, thinking it's one thing, like I did, and like if he's leaving, good for him.
And if he comes back, he comes back. It's whatever they want to do. Him and Lee, it's up to them, whatever they want to do. Also, I just want to read a nice message I just got. Oh, let me just say this too. 2 summers ago, I was introduced to a girl. 2 girls, I was sisters. And they came to the neighborhood, and their parents sent them here to live with their aunts because they were in Flint, Michigan, and they were still having a water problem. So some of these kids have to be separated from their families because they can't even stay home because of water problem. And this is Flint, Michigan. This has been going on for a long time, that Flint, Michigan water problem. But Stephanie said, thank you for having me on. You guys are amazing. I will join again anytime. The whole vibe was awesome. And that was from Stephanie.
She really looks like she looks at least the same or better from the show.
Well,
a couple of years ago.
On the show, they're in jail, so they don't even have all the.
But she has that natural beauty.
Yeah, she has that natural beauty. And Amber, if you don't have her Instagram link, I'll send it to you too, because you should bring her on yours too one time. Yeah, she's pretty cool. And you know what? She got a lot of hate after the show, and she kind of kept a low profile. Being on TV, they edit a lot of stuff, and they always want to have a villain. And you're in jail. You're locked up with a bunch of women. It's going to bring out the B in you. You're going to say some low blows. You might say things you regret sometimes. You know what I mean? So you can't judge until you're in that situation. But hell yeah, it's blocked. We have a peace offer in Istanbul the first week, but chose war seriously skewed media. Hashtag Ukraine, hashtag at Parasite Slayer. Anyway, all right.
Abraham Lincoln. Flint is one of the poorest cities in America.
Primo, I hope you're doing good, and I hope I don't hurt your feelings by talking about people. I never want to put anybody in the middle. Only Joe, because he's my partner, and I could tell him what to do.
Listen to this. The average home value in Flint, Michigan.
You know I love you, Primo. Primo, you know I respect you.
29,000. See? Now, I don't know about that Parasite Slayer, but you know what? You could be onto something.
I had people staying at my job that I work in a house for particular. I don't want to get too much into it, but it's a big piece of property with a couple different houses, and my boss brought in a Ukraine family with 2 young kids, and the kids literally spent a month and fled Ukraine with what they had. Then the 2 kids, 8 and 12, one of them was my daughter's age, spent a month in Poland in like kind of like a hotel type thing, like a shelter type thing, and then made it. Thankfully, they had a friend in the U.S. that brought them in, so they spent time there, and now they moved somewhere else. Because New York wasn't giving them the right resources, so they had to go to another state. So these kids have been through a lot fleeing their country. But anyway, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But wait a minute now.
Wait a minute. What?
There's 3 people on the show. You're ready to go. But
Amber
what
said
about the other 2?
Amber's got to go too. Amber's got stuff to do.
Yeah, my little one's in the
Go
back.
tonight, Amber.
It's 5:30. There's dinner time in Amber's house. 5:30.
All right, I got a confession. I'm going to make a confession in front of everyone, okay?
We could do something later.
When I'm with Lauren and Amber, I'm very, very happy. And I like to continue with this happiness as long as, it's willing to go. And I see we're kind of getting to the end. But it's going to be sad for me, but I really look forward to watching Love After Lockup and Life After Lockup and whatever else we could do.
Yeah, we'll find some cool shows. Teresa has a channel now, guys, so everybody subscribe to Teresa's channel.
She has a channel.
Perry put it in, so everybody subscribe. Make sure everybody subscribe to Amber. And Amber, we should do a game night with your little cards on your channel one night. You got to put it
Amber,
weekend.
We got to do like a little late night, like a nice sexual late show, like an adult, an adult show. You know,
is he trying to do like the Marcelino, Brittany, and Amber type thing? Is her name Amber?
Absolutely not.
Amanda.
You know why?
Amanda.
You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I don't want to feel like, the fat girl at the dance, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think people might be a little more interested in you 2 than me.
And everybody subscribe to AA.
Thank you, Assassinino.
A lot of my subscribers tell me all the time how much they like Amber. I'm like, well, keep watching. It might not be no.
Yeah, keep watching, guys. Come on.
And Godfather, he's the best.
I am not responsible for anything. I put you on to her, but if something happens next month, I'm not responsible for her actions.
Come in, leave your Bibles at the door.
Yes.
Yep. And if she's doing a day where you don't agree with her content, then don't watch. And the same thing here. The same thing here, though. If there's something we're doing or saying and you guys don't agree with our content, don't watch it that day. Watch something else you're interested in. That's why we're trying to, do a variety of different stuff. But anyway, Joe, we're not saying too much curses, please.
No. I'm saying if you don't like this,
you are. Thank you, Roofing. How did Patriotic Roofing know that? We have some good people in this chat that are so smart. Anyway, all right, guys, ding ding. Everybody, David, Judy Brown, Minnie the Moocher, Amber, thank you for coming on. Lucy.
Hold on,
Primo,
let me just do something before I go.
Assassinino. Don't say curse words. Parasites Lady, you done good. I think that's Dario.
My
David
brother.
Cameron.
Minnie the Moocher. Who is this Lulzy? Get me a little pronunciation over here. Is that
I can't pronounce it.
Lolzy.
But Lolzy's been cool. And Doo Brown, we've been really tight for a while. He dissed me yesterday, but I'll let it go. I'll forget that.
Maybe you weren't doing something so nice. Lolzy's brand new. They're just brand new today, and they decided to try my channel. That was nice.
Lolzy.
What a coincidence they found me, Lolzy. But thank you for finding
really
my channel.
pounding the pavement to getting Bay 8 subs. Let me tell you, I love you for that, Lauren.
Maybe when they called me Miss Lauren, they knew you're welcome, Lolzy.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to be doing sports shows on Bay 8th, but it's going to be sports shows with a twist. You know
They
what I
came
mean?
from a camping community.
We're gonna have the girls on.
They came from a camping community, and they just started watching YouTube today. So there's a lot of good camping community channels. Maybe we'll do a camping one. This one said NB, I family had the time. NB, I family had the time.
And I've been
Oh,
getting
that was nice.
I've been getting a lot of disrespectfulness, okay? Like little jokes, right? But here's the difference. Okay? I'm with these women right here, okay?
Well, Joe will be camping.
And you're down there. So I'd rather be with them.
Well, Joe just got
good-looking women. So
Joe
yes,
was
I
allowed
like 6 days in.
Joe was allowed to move back into the house today, so he's no longer camping. So you might be in the wrong
house, the air conditioner
area. She's not listening to you, Joe.
Who's not listening?
She's right. Anyway, all right, guys. Ding ding. Parasite Slayer, my friend. Thank you for coming in. Ding ding.
But
Shout out to
one other question. Okay,
shout
hold on.
out to Weeper's
Amber.
Oh
Amber. So now, do you think like when we do like a 60, like okay, so how many days after the show do you think we should do our show? You know, our like recap show. You think like a week's too long? Like it should be like maybe 2 days or something?
Yeah, like 2 days, like at least by Sunday. Like Love After Lockup,
right,
Thursday.
exactly, right.
Yeah.
That's what I think too. But I told him that you just get busy. I'm like, she gets busy because other content comes up that she has to address.
That's fine. But I'm just asking her opinion because I want to know. Like we're all consensus that it's like 2-3 days. Okay, that's great.
Yeah. So we can work around
we'll work it out. Sure. So maybe we'll have to do something late night, or maybe like we'll do a little like Love After Lockup strip poker edition or some shit like that. You know,
you're the only one on the camera, so
Joe's on that escorting website.
How's that going?
Listen, I'm getting a lot of positive feedback. Let me tell you.
Every chested, tall, and sexy male here to mingle. That's his little profile.
I've been offered, you know, like Brandon is making like $500 an hour. I'm below the poverty line. I'm like, they won't even offer.
No, you're supposed to pay them. No, you're supposed to pay them.
This is not.
I thought I was getting paid.
No, these girls need to know these girls want to know what they're getting. And what they're getting is hairy chested, tall, sexy, and likes to mingle.
No, anyway. Hairy back.
Hairy back.
Hairy back. Yes.
Hairy back, a little sack. Anyway, on that note, ding ding.
And I'm hung like, did you put that I'm hung like a mosquito?